It is July 9, 2024, and I am with JP, and he has something to report regarding a recent incident that took place on a military facility. So, welcome back, JP. It's been some time since we last did updates.
Yeah, sure. I'm happy to be here, Doc. Thank you for the opportunity to bring this information, and it's good for the public to know this information, uh, what's happening in the inside, because a lot of people need to know what's happening because right now we're living in the days that there's going to be a lot of changes for a lot of people, for you, for me, and we need to bring more of this information because there's going to be more people going into the military because of the draft they're doing. So a lot more people are going to experience a lot of different things in the military that I think they should know what they're going to get into.
You're listening to Exopolitics Today with Dr. Michael Sala, your source for the uncensored truth regarding the human, extraterrestrial, global, and political agenda. Click the like button and subscribe to this channel. And now, here's Dr. Michael Sala.
So I went to a parking lot in the military base. I was waiting there, and I parked my car in the particular spot where I meet up with my friend that gives me the green light.
and this is a location that you took me to when I went to visit you at that base.
Yes, Dr. Sala, that's the location. It's a little bit more down to where the parking lot is, where the boats are. I stopped there, and then a white minivan came up. It parked, and then the guy says, "Are you so and so?" I said, "Yeah, I am that so and so." And he's like, "Okay, come on, hurry up, let's go, tap tap." So I got in, and then there was two other guys in the van, and I'm like, "Okay, there's two other guys here." And they were dressed in military uniform, but I was in civilian. I was wearing civilians. And the other two guys looked at me like with a frown in their face. I'm like, "Is there a problem?" And they're like, "Who are you? We never seen you before." And I'm like, "Well, I don't know. I'm here. They want me to be here, so um and then the other guy was talking to the other dude, and there's three guys, and they were all talking to each other like, "Who's this guy that we're picking up? Like a random dude. Like we've been doing this for years." They were saying that. They were saying we've been doing this training for years, and now we got this guy, like a random dude. And I'm like, "Hey, I don't know what's the problem, but I'm just here because they want me to be here. Okay, so I'm not gonna talk to you guys no more." And then the third guy, he was like more outgoing. He's like, "Hey man, like where you from?" I was like, "Hey, I'm from New York," and he's like, Have you been to space before?" And I'm like, "I can't talk about that now. I'm just here to do whatever they want me to do." So he was trying to get out of me, like if I ever been to space before. So I guess the facility that they were going to take me, that they're going to take me, that I went, uh, is it's like a training, but it was like the people that only go through these programs go through there, and it's for a mission to go to space. So it's a checkup that people that go to space get to make sure their body is good and to make sure everything is in the right spot before going. Is a big checkup that they do. So they took us. We drove like 1 mile in the base. You know, the base is humongous. So we went to the interior of the base to this facility. It's like it looks like a random building. But we entered into this random building and it looked like office, and there was regular people there. And then they took us four to the back, to like a big metal heavy door. They open it, and then we went in there, and the door was like at least 1.5 feet thick metal. It was huge. So they took us to this room where the other people could not see us, and we went in, and then they opened a metal door, and we went to that metal door, and they locked it. And then we saw a lot of type of doctors. There's a lot of doctors there walking around with face masks, with gloves. I saw 2 other guys sitting down only with their underwears on, sitting down like this. And they had a machine, like a square machine. This machine was square, and this machine had a lot of cables coming out of it, and it condensed into one cable, and it was going into their vein. And he was like this, one arm down, and he was sitting down, and he had like a metal desk right in front of him. So he had his other hand on that desk, and that desk, well, this is what I did. So they sat me down. I'm going to tell you how the procedure went. They sat me down. They said, take off your clothes and stay just with your underwears. So, okay, I took off my clothes. I stayed with just my underwears. Everybody else took off their clothes. And then the other dude that was really rude, he was like, man, why are you here, bro? Like, do you deserve to be here? Like, what are you? Like, what's happening? And then the other dude that was more soft, he was like, hey, man, leave him alone. He's just here because they wanted to be here. But I don't think it's fair for the other guys that did not come. They're doing training too. And they told us that we're going to pick up somebody, but I didn't know it was going to be a random person. We never even seen him in the trainings before. So why is he here? And he was talking like that. And the doctor came in the room and he was like, okay, guys, I don't know what the discussion is here, but I think you guys need to lower down your heart rate right now. So the doctor came in and he had a mask on. He had a blue cover, like a operating room type of looking. He had the whole blue overalls. He had the gloves. And he's like, hey, you guys need to sit down and get ready for this procedure. So they sat everybody down, and they had everybody put their hand on this metal desk looking thing. So when you put the hand on it like this, numbers come up, and it tells you your heart rate, the sugar in your blood. And it tells you some other code numbers that I did not know what it meant. And then on top, it shows you a color. So my color was like a greenish yellow, and all their colors were like a bluish, like a bluish purple color. I was looking at everybody's color. And then the guy that was arguing with me, he's like, holy shit, bro. Look, he's like a greenish yellow color. That is effing rare, man. And after he saw my color, he started treating me better. So I guess the color depends on how many missions you have been out before. So I think is a lot of missions that I have been before, and I haven't been remembering maybe the missions of how many missions I already have done that I don't remember. So it possibly in the past or all together.
Now, I know you've reported on many missions to me over the last few years, and you said often that there was some kind of memory wipe attempt that they did, but you still remembered the mission.
Yeah.
But that it seems that there were other missions that you didn't remember where this memory wipe did work.
Yeah. But they sooner or later the memories come back. I don't know how, but they do come back, the memories. And it was when he started treating me, I got scared. I'm like, man, I don't remember doing as much missions, And I guess the color also means how far you've been from Earth as well. So green is really far, greenish yellow. So he was like purple blue. So the farthest I think was like Mars or Jupiter. But when it's green and yellow, you've been out from our solar system. And I found that like, wow, I kind of got scared because the missions I remember was in our solar system.
Yeah, that's right.
Not unless the domes were somewhere else from our solar system. So I'm like, okay. The only ones I remember was, the farthest I went was like Jupiter on Ganymede.
Okay, so there was something in your blood that indicated that you'd been on missions outside of our solar system, and they could detect that.
Well, the way they were explaining is that our body's made 75% of water or something like that. And how much is it? Is it 75% made of water? I don't know. A big percentage made of water. Soon we'll get that information out. But your body carries that memory, a memory of how many places you've been out. So the liquid of your body or your blood carries the memory of how many times you've been out. And because I guess blood carries memory from your ancestors and all that. So they had me put my hands on and then it turned green with a lot of greenish yellow, a lot of numbers. And they had this other hand go down and they sticked me. They sticked a needle and my blood started coming out. It hurt. It did hurt. The doctor said they actually put like a numbing lotion first, and then they stick me because the needle is quite thick. So it was a machine that a portion of my blood goes in there and it comes back out with cleanliness. I think it's similar to what people with kidney problems do. Dialysis, something like that.
Right, dialysis.
And I was just sitting up. I was feeling dizzy, and my hand was down. The doctor kept coming in. Are you guys okay? Are you guys okay? And the other dude was crying, saying, "Oh, I can't believe he's a greenish yellow." And then he was apologizing to me, saying, "Hey, I'm sorry, man. I didn't know who you were." I'm like, "No problem, man. I don't have a problem with you. I'm sorry you feel the way you feel, but I was told to come here." And he was like, "Are you allowed to talk the places where you've been?" It's like I told him, "Yeah, I do talk about the places where I've been, but I never told them who I was, And a lot of them know a lot of them know, they listen to you and they're trying to find out. So who's JP? Because they want to say, "Oh, I met JP." And sometimes I don't like to talk because my voice is really unique and people recognize my voice. So the second dude, he was laughing because he knew who I was. He knew my voice.
Okay.
So the third dude was more soft. The ending guy, he was like, "Man, I didn't realize you were a Korean." And bro, I'm really happy that I got to meet somebody like you.
Do you know anything about the other colors? I mean, what were the colors of those guys?
They were like bluish purple.
And just explain again, because I must have missed it. Bluish purple, exactly what? What was the different colors?
So the colors mean how far you have been from Earth.
And
in the way they were explaining.
Where do they extract that?
When they put your hand on the table, all that information comes up.
I see. So just a kind of hand
technology. The touch
machine.
When you touch the metal table, it gives you all that information.
I see.
And you feel like your hand like stuck to it. Like it's like a magnet. It feels like a magnet. It feels like the bottom of your hand has a magnet. And when you touch it, it doesn't come out easily.
I see.
So you're like, okay. I guess they lock it. Like they got a mechanism that they lock it. The doctor has a mechanism that they lock your hand there.
Interesting.
So it's an interesting medical table. I haven't seen a table like that. I don't know what technology is this or from where this technology is from. I know the Nordics, they have a similar technology on their ship. Like they put their hands on certain things and it makes other things move. But this type of table, I didn't know where this table came from. So after they were taking out my blood and all that, they sat us up and they put us like in a booth. So we were like sitting up in a booth like that. Our clothes were off, and we were getting like a shower of it looked like particles of gold, and our whole body turned into like a goldish color. You can see our whole body with golden color, and it looked like I was doing a spray of lotion spray for the sun. So everybody was looking golden, and I looked at the guys and they looked at me, and we looked like Gold Dust from that wrestler Gold Dust. I don't know if you ever heard of him from WWF. So everybody was golden, and then we came out and they spray us down. They take all the particles out, and that procedure, I don't know why they did that procedure. Maybe to figure out the type of body type that you are. But the doctor did not talk a lot about the procedure. The only one that he talked about, it was the table and the color formations and all that. After that, they told us to put on our clothes, and we were in line, and we started going down this ramp, and they sat us down. So the three guys and me, they sat us down. It was similar to where I went with Dan. I don't know. You remember when I went into a place with that. Dan, that there were other ETs there, Nordics, and other people there as well, other military people. So some people was dressed random, and some people was dressed in military uniform. So we were all in line, and then there was a dude in the front who was like, "You guys know why you're here?" And I'm like, "Oh man, here we go again. I don't know what the hell I'm doing here." And let me just nod my head and say, "Yeah, okay, yes," to whatever he says. "You guys know why you're here, and there's a mission going on." So right there, I realized that I was going to go on a mission, and they were preparing everybody for a certain mission. So I was thinking to myself, this could be one of my last missions. And I was thinking, like, where would this mission be? Like, what's going to happen in this mission? So we started talking to each other. We're like, "Hey, what do you think where we're going to go?" And they were talking about the rings of Saturn. And I was thinking, is there going to be a mission to Saturn? And what we're going to be doing there. So he was telling me that there's ships that were coming, and then that we're going to do a rendezvous with these ships that were coming in. But he didn't tell us who or what type of ships were these that they were going to be coming. And after that, after the briefing, he told us more details, but I didn't get the green light to tell more details about what they told us in that room about what type of mission it was and what we're going to do. But I could tell you that we're going to do a rendezvous with another particular ship, and I know what we're going to be doing, and I know what type of mission it's going to be, but I just can't talk about it now. But I could tell you that yes, it's going to be in Saturn, and it's going to be a connection with another species, another alien ship. We're going to connect with them.
I see. So this testing was to really assess whether or not you could do that mission safely.
Yes.
Okay.
Because it's farther. from Jupiter.
Mm-hmm.
So because I had a greenish yellow color, they said, yeah, you're going to this trip.
Interesting.
So not a lot of people got that greenish yellow color.
Mm-hmm.
We got out from there, and we went out. We went back to the metal doors. They closed. And the guy that was like cursing me out, he put his hand on my shoulder and says, hey, man, if you need me, I'll be here for you, you know? I was like, I'm all right, man. Thank you, brother. It is what it is. So they took us back to where my car was. And I sat with my car, and then the person that gives me the green light, he came up to me like 10 minutes later. He met up with me. So he knew I got dropped off. He's like, so what do you think? Are you going? Do you want to do this? And I'm like, it's a dangerous mission. That's the thing. So he really was asking me if I really wanted to do it. It's a dangerous mission. And I said, yeah, I would do it. When is the date? When is it? And he's like, it's not the date. It's when you did it.
Wow.
So I looked at him, and then he started laughing. Welcome back. He tells me, welcome back. So I'm like, wait. And he's like, no more. You got the green light to talk about this. But and then you'll start getting, we haven't took everything away. You're going to start getting feedback on what you're going to remember about this mission.
Okay, so you have done a mission to the rings of Saturn, but you are not aware of it. The memories are not there.
So it's a type of time or separation of consciousness technology that takes you to somewhere else, to another body, or to another, maybe a clone of yourself, or a place that is different. So yeah, that was it. That's what happened to me, and it was quite weird.
And when did this happen?
This happened, like, I think I texted you. I'll tell you the right date. The 4th of July.
Okay, so 4th of July that you went to this
It's more
facility.
tours. Yeah.
So the 4th of July you went to this facility and underwent that kind of testing, that experiment,
Mm-hmm.
and you find out that this is kind of some kind of screening, some kind of process to see who's suitable for doing missions. You're capable of doing missions, or that you've done missions outside of our solar system. So I guess it's not a surprise then that you've done one further than you previously remember. That you remember going to Ganymede. That's your furthest mission, as far as you know. But now you know that you've done one to the rings of Saturn, that it was a dangerous mission, but you don't remember any details about what happened at that mission at this point.
I don't remember as much, but I know something is going to come out from this really interesting.
Do you think, based on the feedback you were getting from those other soldiers when they were looking at the green, yellow reading from your handprint, and that suggested that you've done missions out of our solar system, that there's a lot more memories?
I think there's a lot more memories. Yeah, that I don't remember.
Interesting, because we've done, I think, 35 mission reports so far.
Yeah.
Since you've been telling me about your kind of like different covert missions to various things. So 34 mission reports. So there might be another 34, or there might be much more, or we have no way of knowing exactly how many more missions you've done.
I've been in like almost 4 years
Mm-hmm.
in the military, so it could be way more.
Right.
Yeah.
And of course, the missions that you remember, I mean, these might actually just be the surface level of what you've been doing, that the other memories may be, I don't know if it's due to trauma or dangerous.
I think when it's dangerous, or when you lose somebody,
Mm-hmm.
or it affects you, you get hurt in it, or you see something that you wasn't supposed to see,
Mm-hmm.
that's when they start taking the memories away. But I I don't understand, but I think I've seen it all,
Right.
you know? But I think there's certain things that I'm not supposed to remember. I think it could be because maybe it's in a different time, and it could affect our future if I do know that particular mission. Or maybe it happened in the past or in the future, and I can't talk about it because it could affect the outcome of a lot of things on Earth.
So your superior in the covert hierarchy, who told you it's not a question of when you're going to do the mission, it's like when you did it.
Mm-hmm.
He gave you no clue as to when that happened. Are we
No,
talking
no
a
clue.
week ago, a week previously? No clue. Okay.
No clue.
So do you have any idea
Well,
yourself?
I was out for 4 hours in that facility. So it was the early hours. I got there at 9, 10, 11, 12, 1300, 14. I was heading back home.
Mm-hmm. So you have no idea when the memory of that or the other missions are going to start bubbling up to the surface. It's guesswork at this time.
No.
Okay. Well, that's a fascinating experience. And any of those guys that
They did not look familiar.
Okay.
I never seen them before. The guy that probably knew who I was, he was really quiet, really discreet. But they were all, man, there's a lot of us that go through these experiences.
Okay. But very few actually talk about them publicly.
Yeah, they don't talk about it publicly or are not told. And I actually asked the guy that gives me the green light, I said, why is it just me? He said, there's other people reporting, but they're just reporting to other, other people that are in Washington. They're reporting to other people like governors, that. So you got people that are reporting to certain people, but we'd like you to report this to the public. So it's a big key what we're doing here. I think we're opening the doors of these other people that are, I think they're going to start coming out, and they have been coming out.
Right.
Like that general, that just came out saying that it is real. We have biological entities.
Oh, you mean that Admiral Tim Gallaudet?
Yeah.
That one? Okay.
Yeah. And I think they feel more, free to talk about it when they hear my missions. Like, oh, look at this guy. He's visiting the Ant King.
Right.
And, we can't talk about our little missions that we have done in South America or around the United States. I'm sure there's a lot more people doing a lot.
Right.
It's a network. It's a job. You're told what to do.
Right. With the ant people, I remember the last mission you did, you said that you thought you were going to be sent back to find out what was happening in that other realm where the ant people went and where the new king had taken them, that you felt that they were like just preparing you, and you said, no, I'm not ready then. But do you have any idea whether that's going to happen?
Or already happened.
Or it's already happened. Okay.
Yeah.
But you just don't remember.
Remember, it's a different realm, so that means it's a different time. So I don't know if it's a time that jumps into the future or a time that jumps into to another realm.
Right.
So maybe they don't want me to remember to not affect this realm, this timeline.
Okay, well, anything you want to say to our Spanish and Portuguese friends? I think big interview coming up in July 29 or July 19, I think.
July 19th, yeah. There's a big interview. Tem interview saindo agora no canal em Brasil. E a gente vai estar falando de minha experiência do Dr. Michael Salla e falar mais de nossa conexão com o mundo que as pessoas não veem. I basically said that in this interview, we're just going to talk about my experience and about exopolitics and also about the connection of these experiences and the politics and how it's affecting Earth. So, yeah. That's it. Yeah. Cool.
Okay, well, wonderful to have you back again, JP. I look forward to further reports, and let's see what happens. If you do remember some of these past missions, we might be doing a lot more of this.
Yeah, I want people to understand that to not be scared, you know. I know I'm talking about these certain missions, and I know there's a lot of people that don't believe, you know, because they want proof. But I have been giving pictures. I have been giving videos, and you know, you can search them up also in the page Exopolitics. And you know, if I do come out with these other videos that I have, it's going to be really exciting to show these videos and pictures that I have. It's going to be people are gonna, you know, and I have to be careful now, you know, because of my situation, as you know.
Well, I look forward to seeing some of those other pictures and videos, and hopefully we find a way to be able to release them without putting you under any kind of threats. So I want to thank you, JP, for being on Exopolitics today in this new update.
No problem, Doc. Appreciate you.
You have been listening to Exopolitics today with Dr. Michael Salla. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Join or start a conversation in the comments. Take the time to explore the vast library of best-selling books, webinars, and podcasts by Dr. Salla. Visit exopoliticstoday.com.